Hey everybody, it's me Tony and I'm back with the new review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16. And as we get into this video, please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel so you guys can see more content that I release on the show. But anywho, the scene opens up with Angela and Brit and they're walking together, getting a little exercise and outdoor time. And it looks pretty beautiful in Georgia, I have to admit. The ladies look nice as well. They're serving body in their sports bras and leggings. So they get into talking and they're talking about what they're going through at the moment. Angela is venting about her mom and Charles, her husband, not really getting along anymore. She said they used to get along pretty well, but there was an issue about cleaning up or something, and her mom voiced her opinion bravely. And she says bravely because we all know Charles has a temper. Angela has spoke on it, and it's been pretty much thrown around that Charles has definitely had a reputation for popping off. But anywho, Angela's mom and Charles are actually clashing right now, and she really doesn't like it. And she's also worried because she does take care of her family financially, according to her, and that most of that support financially comes from her husband, Charles. So Brit relates with Angela, and she says that she's also dealing with issues with extended family and her husband. She says her sisters feel like, basically all she has time for is her husband, and she can never have one-on-one time with her sister without Brit's husband being around. And Brit also says that it seems like her sister may be what she basically implies is jealous that Brit lives like a nice lifestyle. And I don't know, guys. I don't know if Brit's sister feels like that. I definitely think that it can be annoying when sometimes people can't really coexist without their husband or wife. I think it can get annoying sometimes. So who knows what they really have going on. So the next scene we see Porsha doing a meeting with the people who help her run her company. She has some assistants, and one of the assistants is her late cousin who passed away during the season, Londi. So it's a little sad seeing her on the screen. Rest in peace to Porsha's cousin, Londi, and apologies to her family for their loss. But Porsha's basically speaking on how, recently she definitely had a change in her structure when it comes to work, because she went from basically being home, trying to be a wife and not really working too hard. And now she's going to be a bit more active in the business and being physically present. And I feel like this is a bit of deja vu because I definitely remember when Porsha had a meeting before with Jamie. And Jamie is the girl that Porsha beat up in that alley on season 8, who currently works for Candy and also works for Sweet Tea from Married to Medicine. Basically, she does like behind the scenes and assisting. But it reminded me of when Jamie told Porsha, like, hey, when you get in love and you get into these relationships, you don't really like working, or we can't answer the phone for you. We can't get in touch with you. Like, no one knows what's going on because you're never present. And honestly, that just reminded me of that. So it's not really a shocker that Porsha's saying today, yeah, well, I haven't really been around too much, but now things are going to change now because, hey, she's single and she needs her money and she can't really depend on her husband. Well, she is depending on him because he is paying for her home that she's staying in. But she knows that she has to get, her money in line because she's really got to start taking care of herself soon. And somehow Drew becomes a topic, of course, in her meeting. They're saying that Dennis reached out because he was hoping Porsha could share her music connections in the industry to help Dennis promote Drew's career. And I'm just thinking, well, what music connections does Porsha have? Because we didn't really see her song take off anywhere. But anyway, Porsha's just, again, reuniting this whole feud. She's saying that she told Dennis her boundary that he's not supposed to film with Drew. And I'm like, why does Porsha think she has so much control over Dennis? I just don't understand it. It's just doing too much. But Porsha's saying that she's going to have to find a way to fire Drew, but doing it in a professional manner because she does have a legit company and they have to do things professionally. Overall, Porsha, this just gave like you needed something to do and you had to film somewhere that's not Simon's house. But anywho, the next scene is definitely Drew and Ralph having another forced scene. They're speaking about their divorce and how happy they are that, they're able to do it in a good way. And it is good to see Drew and Ralph film together. And I do hope that they're able to actually have a healthy dynamic, but it does seem a bit forced in acting. It seems like they're just playing along. And they also spoke on basically saying that the kids don't know about the divorce. I don't know how true that is. I mean, if these kids are old enough to watch TV, they can definitely see or hear from other people that, hey, your parents are breaking up. But hey, whatever they say, I just hope that they are able to work things out for their children. The next thing we get is actually Kenya and Kelly, and they're at Kenya's brand new hair spa. It's a beautiful spa, and I hope that Kenya makes the money back from all that she's invested in it because it's beautiful. But anywho, Kenya questions Kelly on why she has security, and it made me chuckle a bit, guys. I'm not gonna lie, because I definitely remember when Kenya came on the show, season 5, doing too much, and she had security with her, saying she's a public figure and she needs security. But anywho, Kelly has a legit reason on why she has security. She mentions that her husband publicly threatened her in court and actually got held in contempt because of it, because he was threatening to unalive her in court. And I thought that was pretty messed up. Very just very dangerous. Like, this is the mother of your children. This is your wife. Why are you treating her this way? But Kenya is giving Kelly her props for, being strong and being successful as a businesswoman. And she's asking her for advice because she's saying that, she invested a lot of money into her spa and she's a bit worried, like, what if she doesn't make the money back? But Kelly is really feeding into Kenya and she's pouring her a lot of love and support. And she's saying, don't worry, like, you're going to make it. And Kenya's very emotional and sensitive. She's even shedding tears, and she's saying that she actually spent some of her daughter's savings money and school money to actually make this spa happen. And that made me kind of pause for a second. I know Kenya's a great mother. She loves her daughter. And that's one thing Kenya does really, really, really good at. But I don't understand why you spent your daughter's savings on a business adventure. Like, come on, Kenya, you know better than that, girl. Like $400,000 you spent on your spa. And I don't understand why, that just even happened as far as your daughter's savings. You make a good amount of money on the show, so you should have been able to take some of your paycheck, not your daughter's savings. You should have taken some of your paycheck from the show, or even your money that you make off of your hair products. That should have been what you invested, not your daughter's savings account. But anyway, I can understand why Kenya is definitely emotional and shedding tears about it. And I really do hope that she's able to make that money back in return. I definitely do. I've been hearing mixed things about her spa. To be honest, it really hasn't been so great. I've heard that she overcharges and that the spa is barely open. So who knows? I wish her well, though. So we finally have Angela's dinner and it's at the bank. I'm pretty excited to see it. If you don't know what the bank is a nice restaurant in Atlanta and they have really good food from what I'm hearing and good drinks. And honestly, it seems like a vibe. So I'm pretty happy to see the ladies go in there and support. I definitely enjoyed the theme of it all. I think Angela did a great job. The ladies look nice and they're all black except for Kenya. And I say except Kenya because Kenya is the only one who showed up in not black. Come on now. Kenya's like wearing this bright teal color. I don't get it. I think it was a bit rude. If the lady tells you to wear black, just wear black. But anywho, the ladies look nice. And honestly, Shamia came in and she really won this scene for me because Shamia came in with a little branch and an olive oil bottle, and it was so sweet. She was giving it to Angela because she wanted to say, hey, this is me extending an olive branch to you. I wanted to apologize for attacking your physical looks. And Angela gracefully accepted the apology. And she also said likewise, like she would like to just start over with Shamia. I thought that was beautiful. Shamia plays a song for the ladies that she's been working on. As we all know, she's trying to release some new music as a singer, and Porsha is just playing dumb and trying to be shady, asking, "Oh, well, whose song is this? Is this Drew singing?" And Shamia's like, "No, it's me." And Porsha, why are you playing dumb and trying to shade your best friend? Like, please stop. We all know that it's Shamia. Please stop being nasty just because you want to have a problem with this girl. But anywho, the ladies are playing a fun game next, and they write down questions for each other. And someone asked Shamia on a card, "Hey, what did you do for your husband that night when he got you that expensive gift, the car?" And Shamia's so funny. She's like tilting her head back, showing what her mouth does, and throwing her little booty in the air. And it's just so funny to me. It's hilarious, but someone asked Angela, "Hey, what's something about your husband that you don't want the group to know?" And Angela's like, "Well, I'm pretty transparent, so I don't really have anything that, I've been hiding or whatever." And Portia's like, "Well, I've heard some stuff about Charles." And everyone's like, "Oh, well, if you have some tea, just spill it." And Angela's like, "Yeah, if you have something to say about my husband, just share it. What do you know about my husband?" And Portia's just playing stupid. She's like, "Oh, well, no, I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it." And I thought that was childish because if you know tea, why not spill it? Why bring it up if you're not going to actually spill it? Like, that's just childish. But anywho, if the tea Portia is trying to spill is that Charles had a child outside of Angela, I think we all pretty much knew that. And if you guys didn't know personally, I think we've been heard that he had a baby outside of her, and that is the son that I think Charles calls him Charles Jr. And we heard that Wendy Williams even spilled it on her show a while ago. So it's not really a secret. So if that's what Portia was alluding to, I don't really think that's any fresh tea. I think the son is like 8 years old now. So the next two questions are for Kenya, and I'm pretty sure Brit wrote these questions. One is like, "Oh, can you talk to Brit nicely without having an attitude? And what's your problem with happily married women?" And Kenya's like, "I don't even have an issue. Like, I can talk to anyone nicely, and I don't have an issue with married women." And Brit is just trying to pick a fight with Kenya in this scene. It's so forced and thirsty. She's like, "Oh, well, we're not just talking about anyone. We're talking specifically about me, specifically about me. Like, what is your issue with me?" And everyone's just like this is just getting a little bit annoying. Like, this is a bit over the top. But anywho, Kenya's like basically gonna eventually just pop off back. She's like, "Oh, well, a peasant could never, like, I don't really speak to peasants." And Brit is like, "A peasant? Who?" Like, Brit is just popping off, and they're getting ready to leave. Kenya walks away. Brit is like just going on a rant. She's like, "Where's my husband? Because I have a husband who loves me and cares about me." And Kelly's trying to calm Brit down, and Brit's like, "Oh, well, I still have my blink blink." And if you know what a blink blink is, that's like a blicky, like a pow pow. And Brit is literally just saying, she's confirming everything that Kenya said, basically. Like, I don't know about literally the words like, "I'm going to do this to you," but Brit is saying, "I have a pow pow, and this is what we do." Like, Brit, this is not the right scene for that type of stuff, okay? This is not Boys in the Hood. This is literally Real Housewives of Atlanta. You don't have to mention a pow pow, a blicky. Almost everyone has one. It wasn't that deep. Kenya didn't try to physically attack you. She didn't verbally threaten to. It wasn't that deep for you to start mentioning pow pows. And I'm not gonna lie, when the news first broke out that Kenya showed explicit photos of Brit, I was kind of defending Brit in a way because I'm like, well, we've seen Kenya have a history of doing it. And when it got confirmed that Kenya did show the photos, I'm like, "Oh no, girl, you're wrong." But honestly, Kenya is still wrong for showing the photos, but she was right when she said Brit was coming for her. And I even posted a screenshot, guys. Like, I asked Brit, like, "Hey, what's up with this?" And she kind of doesn't seem like she fully gets it still. You guys let me know, but this is my Instagram and I wrote her. But overall, we do see that Brit will try to apologize later to Kenya for the pow pow comments. And I guess that didn't really work because we know that Kenya still ended up showing those photos anyway. But like this video and please subscribe, guys, because I will be dropping more content and I don't want you guys to miss out. Bye.